Hey Iceberg, so I'm here today with Slim/Iceberg, a developer, investor, philanthropist, gives back to the community. He's going to talk about this new construction home that we're in right now and some more about his background and being able to help people that's looking to do custom build homes to kind of get into the being able to purchase one.
Okay. I'm Slim, owner of Iceberg Properties. I also have a general contract company called Slim's Way Construction. And I've been in real estate now for 12 years. Actually, this month is our anniversary.
Okay, congratulations on that. Starting out, going from, I know when we met, you was flipping houses, you was tearing stuff down in Midtown, doing new construction. So tell me, how did you end up pivoting from just doing flips and rental properties, and acquiring rental properties to the new construction?
Well, when I first got into the game, I started out with rental properties. The thing about it was, it's crazy because I seen a lot of people that was doing real estate, and so I asked them questions and tried to, reach out to them, and they declined. So
that was a lot.
So basically, what had started happening was I had a friend that told me about buying houses from the city, and these are condemned houses.
Yeah, the land bank.
Right. So I had started buying houses from them, and everything was like trial and error. I'm talking about from rehabbing to learning the game and all that. And one thing I would tell anybody, you have to be a student before anything.
Correct, you have to be a student before you go to teach. Let's stop a second. You have to be a student before you be a teacher. But I think that's one of the reasons I'm doing this series too, is to give the general public a behind the scenes. Everybody can take videos and photos of the stuff that they've done after it's finished, but it's the nuances, it's the small stuff that really matters.
Right. You have to be ready to learn, read, and just because people decline, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to decline.
Correct, that's true.
So networking is a big thing as well. But I started doing that, and what happened was I was getting my rent rolled up. So I learned the business ethics of real estate.
Correct.
Because, I didn't know anything about being an entrepreneur.
Yes, so you had the books, the P&L statements, and all that stuff. The back office type stuff. Yeah. The back office type stuff is stuff that you need to know in order to sustain business. Not to look like you get money, but to really be able to put yourself in a position to have financial freedom, financial wherewithal, and some sustainable income. But go ahead, brother.
So once I mastered that skill, things started to open up for me. And networking also started to open up for me. And it's crazy because once people start to see like, okay, this guy's serious, like he's doing this thing. So people actually started to, hey, let's work together. Hey, let's do this.
The same people that turned you down on the front end, they circle back around. Now Slim's way is on his way. Now they circle back around and want to jump on the train because it's already moving.
Right. This was Iceberg Properties.
Yeah.
So this before I ever thought about building a house. So the thing about it was I used it to my advantage. As far as, like I said, business ethics, working with banks, because I had the assets, I had the collateral. Here it is now, I own over 100 properties, so it's like, okay, I got the money coming in, I got the assets, so now how do I go about
leverage that to be able to build on it?
Taking it to another level. And so I started buying lots. Just land or whatever like that, because I saw other builders building in these neighborhoods and things like that. I still didn't know anything about building at all.
But you had enough insight to know,
right,
if I buy the lots, then it's valuable on the purchase, but even more valuable because people are already building in the neighborhood.
Right. And I also, once I started learning real estate, I knew I'm seeing the transition. They call it gentrification now, but it's been going on for many years.
Exactly.
So I started seeing that, and so I was like, you know what? How do I start building on my own lots and networking? And actually, a friend introduced me to a general contractor, and built my first house, which the houses that I built are called spec homes. So basically, what that means is I'm the builder, I'm building it, I don't have a buyer for it right now.
Correct.
You know, so I'm basically building it to my satisfaction.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
As opposed to a standard of prospective buyer.
Right.
And you're not building multiple communities, you're doing custom homes, custom spec homes, but you're doing it to what it is you think the general public will be interested in.
Right. So, you know, and I tell anybody, you know, word of mouth travel fast, and you got to have a good product.
Product, exactly, yeah. So word of mouth travels fast. It can benefit you, but it also can be detrimental to your business as well. So the product matters. The type of product matters.
Right. So you know that goes right along with business. You know, conducting business, how you go about treating people and things like that. So built my first home. It sold, but I will tell you this: it didn't sell when I thought it was going to sell. It took me about, it took me about 6 months to build a house. The house stayed on the market for probably another 8 months. You know, like this was a brand new home. So it was a lot that I was learning. I was learning about the real estate agent, you know, because the agent that I had at that time, you know, she just thought, hey, this is a brand new house, it's going to sell itself. You know, and it's crazy because she missed out on a lot. I ended up going to hire another agent, man, that came in, took over, took care of her business. And the agent that I had previously, her broker bought me the buy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just like, man, I'm sorry.
Let me help you. Let me get you somebody else to help you out.
But yeah, so that's how it started.
Okay, cool. So from doing all that you've done, acquiring the amount of houses that you had, what aspect do you think you like best? Do you like the new construction best, and if so, why?
Rental properties, that's where my bulk of income comes from.
The residual income.
And I know a lot of people like, hey, man, we're gonna flip this property, we don't have to worry about it. But that's mailbox money. That's the foundation. That's something that's coming in every month. No matter what. So as far as construction, new construction, I love it. But if like just for instance, this pandemic.
The COVID situation, that's gonna be my next question.
Right, it hit. So, you know, prices went sky high.
Material costs.
And then to get things, you know, was dragged out.
That's true.
So,
and labor costs increased as well. So some projects you had to pause on. Like, for instance, lumber. Lumber went like triple. Correct.
Here it is. You were used to paying $14,000-$15,000 for a lumber cage. Now it's $40,000. You know, so you have to be willing to say, okay, I'm gonna wait till it come down. But some people can't, you know,
can't wait because they tied in. Right. They don't have the mailbox money. They don't have a residual. Right. They built their bread and butter is based on the ability to get the house built and sold in order to pull some profit out because that's their primary line of business.
Right.
The income.
So you know. Those situations right there, they happen. With bills itself, things happen.
Correct.
So I call it blood, sweat, and tears. So that's why, like when I build, it has to be worth my time. You know, because you putting a lot of time and effort in,
and energy and trust into this end product that may or may not pan out in your favor to the degree that you wanted to.
And again, just because I built this home doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna sell it.
Correct. Right. Exactly. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But on this one, you told me just recently you got a contract on this one that we're standing in right now.
Yes. And again, COVID, like this is probably the longest project I have ever worked on. Due to the pandemic. It took me like 5 months to just get some windows.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting on windows now. So, 2.5 months.
So I'm the type of person, I don't necessarily think negative all the time. What I said was, okay, God, what you're telling me is the people that's going to buy this house is not qualified yet. So by the time the ball gets to rolling, you know, they'll be ready. And that's exactly what happened.
The power of positive thinking. The power of positive thinking is real. It's real. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what's gonna be is better to think positive than negative. All things being equal, at least you still got something to gain. So yeah. So for a home buyer that's looking to do a new construction home, like what are some of the things they need to do in order to get lined up, in order to come to you? Like, listen, Slim, Iceberg, construction. I want y'all to build me a house. Like, what do I need to have? What do I need to have ready to rock and roll when I come to you to purchase a home? Well, you build us a house.
When you come to me, you have to be qualified.
Already. Right? Stop one second. When you come to him, you got to be qualified as well as when you come to me. Now, if you come to me, I can help get you qualified, so that's okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, so when I'm talking about as qualified is like you have to have a construction loan or whatever type of loan that you have, already qualified versus I'm trying to get qualified. So once you qualify and we know what you qualified for, then we can start looking at plans to build.
That'll fit. Okay, so basically, we need to know what you qualify for because we got multiple different options in terms of what we can help you purchase, what we can build for you. But we need to know what's your budget going to be in order to determine how best to be able to help you.
Right. So, and I do build for other people. I have 2 situations now, and they are qualified, and I will begin building for them. One in Mississippi and one in Raleigh. So, I do build for other people, but I love working for myself.
Back to the entrepreneurship, but that makes sense though. The thing about real estate, and that's why I launched this part of this series, is because I wanted to make sure that people got a chance to look at the different facets of real estate. It's one thing to look at it on the market, do showings and open houses, but it's something totally different to be able to have these kind of in-depth conversations where people don't get a chance to talk to people like you, and people like you typically don't talk to the general public about the ins and outs of the business.
Right. That's correct. So going back to my past history, like when I first got in the game, things like that, no one want to talk to you, no one wants to, give you game or anything like that. Man, my take on it is, first of all, they don't stop printing money, and it's enough money for us all. All right. So learning from that, I'm just like I'm an open book. So prime example, man, I was at Lowe's buying some material, and this guy that followed me came up to me. He was telling me that, hey man, I follow you. You're a great motivator, inspiration. He was like, man, I've been having this investment property on the market, and he was like, man, I've been having it on there. It's not selling. Like people come through, but then they don't put a contract on. So basically, just sitting there talking to him. I told him, okay, what's your price? So he told me his price, and I asked him, I said, if you lower your price, would that hurt you? And he was like, no, it won't hurt me that much or whatever like this. So I told him, I said, okay, let's lower your price. And then I said, switch up the pictures. So I think he had a picture of the outside first. I said, well, switch the picture up to the kitchen first or whatever like that. I said, then re-listen. Man, like, he texted me, he said, I'm listening today, which was Friday. Man, Sunday he called, he said, hey, Slim, man, guess what? I said, what? He said, man, I got a contract on the house already. So he listened Friday, had a contract on it Sunday. But, he just kept calling and just thanking me, just for taking the time out to just tell him that, and it may be simple to another person or something like that, but the thing about it again, this was his first rodeo. He didn't even think about it. He didn't even know.
Look at that as a possible option.
So, when we just, by telling him that, we got great results.
And that's what it boils down to, being able to disseminate and give out knowledge and being able to, because at the end of the day, knowledge put a person in a position to do more faster, and also too, it makes it worthwhile for you as a long-term investor that you're not even losing anything, in the process.
Man, we all say time is money, okay? So I tell anybody, and I'm telling this to you, if you have someone that's taking time to just pour into you, man, that's worth more than $1 can ever,
That's true, isn't it?
Because I see a lot of people they cling to a lot of debts that's in this game and things like that. And these guys pour into them, they give them game, you know, and they take time out from their time to even just stop and, you know, socialize, converse with these people. But what I'm seeing is once these people sell their first house or go take care of their business, it's like, you know, so you forgot about who took the time and initiative. And I'm not saying that these people are asking, because I don't ask for nothing. Because again, brother, like, I'm making money, you know, but I feel like God blessed me to bless others.
Exactly, true, yeah. And it's only right that you need nothing else. When you invite me out to a steak, then you need to do something. I mean, just for the simple fact of the time and energy that I put into you. Because I mean, it's reciprocity. It's reciprocity. You give back to the person that gave you, and you give more to people that's coming up under you. So that way you cover it all the way around.
Right.
So we'll get ready to wrap up. So tell me a little bit about this particular property right here. So what was it before you decided? So did you tear this one down, or what did you do with this one?
Well, actually, what happened was I bought a house right behind it. It was a house, and I thought that I was going to renovate it. All right, I ended up buying it for 30 grand. Went inside the house, got into it, and I'm just like, nah, I can't do this. So I had to tear that house down. All right, ended up tearing that house down. There was like another like 15,000, and I built a new house on it. All right. So while I was in the process of doing that, I was looking at this lot. I'm like, this is an empty lot. What had happened was the city had tore down the house because it was condemned. Looked it up. Come to find out, the same guy that I bought the house behind me for owned this house. And so I called him up. I'm like, hey, I just purchased this house from you on Princeton. I was like, hey, I see that you have this house for sale. And he was like, yeah, man, it's just a lot. The city didn't own me about it, you know, whatever. So I looked up the taxes on it or whatever like that. And I called him back. I said, how about I give you $3,000 for it? And he was like, sure. Now, the wholesaler that sold me this house behind me, I had called her. And said, hey, I got in touch with your guy that sold me the house behind. I'm finna buy, you know what I'm saying, this house for him. And I actually just gave her a tip, you know, because she brought this house to me. You know, so you had to, okay, so at the end of the day, I'm a numbers person. Now think about it, before I even started building there, I was at 45,000. Bought the house for 30, tore it down for 15. You know, so versus here, I gave this guy 3,000 and I gave her something. Man, I'm all the way down.
It's all upside from here.
Right. And the taxes, that was like a couple hundred, you know, so, but man, I'm all the way down versus already behind the 8 ball here. And so that's what brought me to this lot. All right. And it's like I paved the way because once that house sold, I had that comp.
Correct. So then you paid your dues to be able to benefit from this opportunity. Right. Plus the comp was just icing on the cake.
Right. Now I will say this. I took a hit, you know, but this house right here would make up for that. You know, buying solo, you know, and then I built it a little bigger, so I'm gonna get a little more bang as far as money, you know what I'm saying? But the home buyer is actually getting more as well.
That's true. So everybody wins. Everybody's winning. Yeah. But we'll come back and do another tour once you get everything wrapped up. I know you're about in the final phase, almost the final phase of getting wrapped up. We'll come back and do a tour and kind of talk about more the ins and outs of this particular property. Listen, thank you for taking the time to sit down with us. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.